Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to another Brief Live. I am your host, Dara Adams, and I am the founder and CEO of Made for More. Today, I have my girl, Alice Foy, owner of the Digital Jane and Operations Consultancy, who specializes in strategies for growing teams. And on a personal note, her superpower is helping leaders develop authentic culture within their teams by how they lead with clarity, personally and professionally. Hi, Alice.
Hi, Tara. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I love all things you. So we're gonna jump right into it. Like,
Likewise,
who are you?
likewise.
What do you do? Like, let us know all the deets.
Yes, it's hard for me not to say what I do without going back a little bit. So, I earned my stripes in event production. I used to love running around with a headset on, doing all of the event coordination behind the scenes. And what I think I was drawn to back then was standing in the moment of the vision of someone else, like being able to bring it to life from idea to actual execution. And we even had the opportunity to work together on some events. And so that's where I started. And then in 2018, I started a company called the Digital Jane. And in a short, long, but short way, we help teams to have better work days. So we come in, we make sense of processes, the way the teams work, the tools that they use to make work more efficient, and really just helping leaders we stand in a gap to help leaders to clarify what they're asking for. A lot of us start these businesses, we are great at what we do, but the operations can be like a whole nother element that we may not be ready for, right? And so my job is to come in and to help you get across the finish line with clarifying what you need from team members so that they can show up in excellence, serving your vision and do their best work.
I love that. So we know that you love Black women in business, and you want them to prioritize operations as a way
Yes.
to prevent overwhelm. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So when we think about some of the reasons why Black women specifically don't thrive or aren't able to stay open, everyone talks about capital. Capital is our number one issue. I feel like we are always in a deficit in terms of our vision and then what we're able to do with our money, or being able to raise money and get funders. And so no one really ever thinks about operations as the second. We have been in the background for so long, over 6 or 7 years now. And what I see is that a lot of times you have high turnover because you're not equipping people. You are not
Mhm.
ready for the scale that you may envision. And so my job is to come in and help you to prepare for that. It's my heart's work. I feel like putting my power, my passion, my expertise behind Black women, especially primarily, is what God has called me to do in this season. And it's not saying that we don't serve others and support others, but I prioritize the betterment of Black women and the people that they train up and prepare and equip for opportunities.
Yeah, so just thinking about the back end of the businesses of Black women that you've worked with so far, like what
Mhm.
has burnt out looked like to them, and how have you helped them to overturn that within their teams?
That is a great question. I think burnout shows up for all of us in different ways. A lot of us don't have the privilege of just stopping and going
Mm.
on a sabbatical and taking months and months and months off to go backpack across Europe, right? So
Oh, I
burnout could
wish.
look Burnout could look like just mental shutdown in the middle of a meeting. Your team asking you for
Mm.
answers that you don't have and you don't even know where to pull from, right? Burnout can also look like your creativity has gone. You used to be super creative and excited about your business, and now all of a sudden you can't come up with a new idea. A lot of us
Mm.
get burnt. I coincide burnout with being in survival mode in our businesses. And a lot of times we do get there unintentionally just from wanting to do
Yeah.
our best work, wanting to serve others, wanting to do all the things. And so for me, I just perfect example yesterday. One of our clients wanted to do this event every week. And she was like, you know what? Instead of just doing it for May, let's do it for June too. And I said, it's my responsibility to check in with you to make sure, do you really have the capacity to show up every single week and deliver this? And she said, you know what, Alice, you're right. Let's just do every 2 weeks because I can manage that. And so
Yeah, that's
that's what it
good.
looks like on a day to day basis.
I love that. I mean, just having to be authentic about where you are can be very hard, especially if you're a high achiever with a little
Mhm.
pleasing sprinkled on top of that.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so I know, like, your main pack. And I know this because I know you. But your main
Mhm.
pack is called Foundations First. So tell
Yeah.
us about that, and then tell us what your team should look like prior to getting to you or working with your company.
Yeah. So Foundation First is our signature framework. It started as just a service. It started as a package. And what I found is that teams don't fit into a package. There are very
Yeah.
few companies that I have supported that are able to just fit perfectly into what our deliverables are. We are unique. Our businesses are unique, the structure of them, the teams that we hire. And so I don't have like a one size fits all approach. And so instead of forcing people into a package, Foundation First is our framework. And that allows me to take you through our process to make sure that all the bases are covered, but without us forcing you into, oh, it has to be this, you know? So
Yeah.
it's a 4 month it's a 4 month process, and we basically start with getting super clear on who's doing the work. That's the first thing I want to know before I get into talking about what tools you use and all the fun things. I need to know who's in the back end doing the work on a day to day. Do they have understanding of their role? Do they have resources to follow?
Mm.
Is there clarification around how different team members are working together? And so after we get through that process, that's when we start to build out normally a project management system or a CRM that'll make the work easier. And it's custom to the way that you do and manage work. We're not just taking it out the box and saying you should
Mm.
use it. I build all automations and boards and processes to match the work that you're actually doing day to day. And then last but not least, we get into actual training and handoff. Before we leave you, we make sure that your team is equipped, that the people that's going to be doing and managing the work know exactly what they need to do. We walk them through it. It's very hands-on. And so Foundation First is the way that we're able to prepare and equip teams for clarity in their day-to-day operations. And it's my favorite thing to do. I love when we get to handoff because the confidence of the team starts to shine through.
I love that. And today I saw, I don't know why I didn't see this before, but today I saw where you're like, we'll build out your project management tool like Asana. I said, oh, where do they do that at? Like, that would make
Yes.
me purchase the package just because of that. Because my Asana looks crazy right now.
Yes, that is all. But you know what? It is so overwhelming to be doing work and then having to go in to figure out how to build. Like you just want
Mhm.
to open this thing and say, "Is it going to help me?" That's
Yeah.
all we care about. And so, luckily for you, you have me. I'll come in. We'll make sense of. Does this match your workflow? Because if it doesn't
Yeah.
match, it's going to feel like something else to do and manage instead of feeling helpful. And we
Yeah.
don't want that. We want to get rid of it.
Yeah, because I'll take a nap real fast. It's
Yes,
like,
take a nap. I'm logging
I
off.
love that. So, for a person like me or someone else who's interested in like working with you, like, do they have to have a full team?
Mhm.
What's the number of team members you work with? What does that look like?
That is a great question. And you know what? It also comes with a little bit of acceptance for me. So I have to say that when I started, I worked with people where we were their first hire. You know, we they were
Mm,
solopreneurs and we were their first investment into having support. Now, our clients normally have operations teams already. They already have someone in support because if not, and let me tell you why. When it's time for handoff, the CEO is not going to be the person that's going to want to own all the things that we've done and we've created. They're trying to get themselves out of it. And so partnering with us works best when you already have a support team that can own the daily responsibilities of managing the processes, or you have someone who's wants to get into the asana, for example, and like feel comfortable with,
yeah.
doing things. And so I would say that it doesn't have to necessarily be a full operations team, but you want to have someone that's going to be your execution person. Because
Yeah.
after we build it, you need someone to manage it.
Yeah, I love how you said that because for me, it feels like in the operations arena, frustration is beautiful in this process because I
Yes.
recently just hired two people and now I'm saying, okay,
Can you
before
slow down? You just hired two people. That is huge.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But now I
Huge.
see now I'm putting in my mind, okay, I'm going to need the digital Jane at this place. But it wasn't until I brought people into my vulnerable space and I had to be transparent where I even
Yeah.
recognized, okay, I need to work better as a leader. We need to work, better as a team. So I do love the fact that it's like, okay, try to bring someone in, see what that looks like, working with someone, seeing how you wake up, seeing how you go to sleep, seeing how you handle
Mhm.
conflict. So then when we do come to someone like you, we're serious and we're ready. We're like, come
You're
on,
ready
Alice,
to
come on
go.
in. Come on and do
Yes, you
this.
don't want to waste your investment. You and I love so two things there. That is a beautiful accountability for you as a leader because a lot of us we have blind spots as leaders. I
Mhm.
do. Every single day something happens where I have to humble myself as a leader and as a servant, a person that's actually still doing work. I work in my business. There is no
Mhm.
world where I'm a CEO and I'm sitting up here and then everybody else is doing work. I'm still in it.
Mhm.
And so I make mistakes. And
Yeah.
part of that is being able to show up fully for the team, but understanding that that may look different on different days. It doesn't mean that I won't ever make mistakes. It doesn't mean that I have it all figured out, but I have put my best foot forward to equip the people for the work, right? And so
Mhm.
we recently just added this mindset shift session to our first phase
Mhm.
of Foundation First because we realized that I can come in, you can pay me, I can come in, I can write all the processes, I can build out the systems, I can train your team. But the real change starts in your mind. And if you are not ready as a leader, that is trickling down. So we don't realize that a lot of our habits, our behaviors, our things spread like wildfire throughout the
Yeah.
team. It's a trickle down effect. So if you work like this, it's your team is more likely to pick up those same work habits, right? And
Woo.
so we start with the mindset of the leader now. We want to do an assessment to make sure you're actually prepared for the next level in operations. What is that going to look like? How are you going to have to show up and be accountable to it? And then the same thing with your operations team. We recently had a person who was being pushed into a management role and she was not interested and she wasn't ready. So there's no amount of system development or training that I can do for someone who hasn't in themselves feel the confidence to go into a management role. And so that's where we start now. And I think all people in leadership, you have to sometimes take a step back and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
I'm the drama.
I'm the problem.
I'm the problem.
I'm person. My kids getting on my nerves. It's hot outside. I'm sorry, y'all. I just needed a snicker.
But no one is asking you to show up perfect. That's the most beautiful part about cultivating your own environment. It's like no one's asking for perfection,
That's
but you
good.
do need to have parameters around how you work and the culture that you're creating. And I think that's what's most important because if not, you'll keep seeing the same issues showing up.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you all are leading with mindset because with you all even doing that and requiring that before people work with you, you're teaching them too, like that you have to lead with clarity. You have to lead with
Yes.
authenticity and personal leadership to make sure that the board is clear and everybody feels good and comfortable about starting their
Yes.
day. Your tagline is better work days. Nothing can
Yes.
become better until you feel good about who you are and what you're doing and you're showing up. So I love that you all do that.
Exactly.
I want to know how do we book this clarity session? Like what are we doing here?
Yeah. So now, I feel like I want to throw this back to you because you are challenging me. This is the part where I wanted to highlight how Dara works. So we're friends, and we're casually always in voice notes, strategizing and going back and forth about each other's businesses. And I sent her some copy to update the sales page with this new revelation that I had around leaders and their mindsets needing to shift, and that
Mhm.
being our first part of our work. And she is challenging me on the copy, right? So you're not just going to get a website. That's what I want people to understand that the beauty of working with someone that is truly a brand strategist and not just someone who does design. She understands TDJ's elements, the vision. She studies your services in the copy to make sure that it's landing the right way. And then if it's not right, just know it's not going up just yet. And I love that because it holds you to a standard that you say you want to operate in, right? And so to
Oh.
answer your question on the services page, Foundation First is there. The best way to work with us is to schedule a call, a free discovery call. I'm not taking any money until I make sure that I understand 100% that we are aligned. And if not, I have a whole community of amazing Black women in operations that can support you. I love to give referrals as much as possible. And so it's coming soon, but in the meantime, you can learn about us at thedigitalJane.com /services.
And she is not telling a story, y'all. The person that I'm working with now, she sent her to me. So
Mhm.
I am like overjoyed by working with these two ladies because I'm like telling her like, y'all, Digital Jane is coming in soon, so let's mop up the floor before they
Let's
get
clean
here
it up. They coming
because
in here to check. They coming in
cause
here to check.
she's
I think that's
already
how
been
teams
working with
really
me.
treat us.
No, for real. Like when the cleaning lady come, but you try to straighten up before she comes so she don't think you're too
Yes.
trifling. That's what we over here doing.
Yes. But you know what? I had a client that always used to be like, Alice, my slip is showing, when I would come into the back end. And I would say, we are like the cousins that come over that you don't have to clean up for. You do
Woo,
not have to clean up for me. I want you to feel comfortable with just letting me in how it is because that's going to give me the best information to learn how you work so I can build something based on how you do and not an idea of the way that you work. So I want to see the
yeah,
mess. I need to see it
yeah.
so we can build something to support you.
I love that you said that because I had a team call yesterday and I started in a Google document and I just started writing in the way that my brain worked. It had no sort of organization, no sort of nothing. And I said, I am so sorry, y'all. This is how my brain works. It could look a little crazy. And one of the girls was like, no, that's how you work. She said, get it out the way that you get it out and we'll decipher it and we'll figure it out and put it together. And I was like, oh, thank y'all.
Just get it out. That's all they need. You will be surprised. I want every single CEO leader, team leader on here to realize this. Your team will be happy with the breadcrumbs that you give them. If
Yeah.
you give them just the information that they need, if it's someone else's job to format it and make it look good, you don't know. You could log into your next team meeting and your new EA could have prepared a whole template. That's all you got to do is just
That
plug
works.
into it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like no one is it's taking the pressure off of you once you start to pull people in that everything does not have to be 100% you anymore. And me
Yeah.
showing up with this unformatted agenda is good enough as long as I show up and they get
Look,
what they
our
need.
meeting was an hour. Our meeting was an hour. We got off
There we
that call.
go. Yes.
I
Beautiful.
love it. So I know we've been doing some work together. I am building out this landing page, which we are going to talk about after this. I know you out. But yes, tell them about the work that
Did
we've
I
been
tell on
doing.
myself?
It's so cute. Looks like you're in Cancun or something. But tell them about the work that we're doing and like what's coming out of it and how people can, I mean, I guess continue to collaborate effectively with people. How you enter, like we didn't necessarily just come in like, hey, you want to barter? It was not like that. We grew into this like, all right,
Yes.
girl, I need some, I need some stuff.
Yes. Can you still hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So can I go back a little bit? Just go back just a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay. So let's flash back to like 2012,
Oh my
2013.
God.
We got to go all the way back. I met
Gee.
Dara. Um, I don't even know the first time we crossed paths, but it may have been at a conference where we were both doing some sort of
Oh my
bar
God.
volunteer, something, but we were both there, right? And so that was our first encounter. And I remember you mentioning you were designing websites for like
Yeah, $2.
$500.
Oh, I know what
It
you're
was
talking about now.
Yes, it was
It
like
was
250.
300.
Yes, and they were like the person at the conference was like, absolutely not. You will never do that again. Your skill, y'all. This is 13 or so years ago. At that
It is
time, even her
crazy.
skill was so advanced that it was like there is no way that you're giving this away at that
Oh
level,
my
right?
God.
So we were growing together. I want to say that first we were both doing events, like, having our little pop ups and our little swirls, but always with intention. And every single move that you have made from Queen's View to now has been
Oh my
with
God.
so much intention. And I cannot say what we're doing now without acknowledging that over the years, near and far, distant and close, we have been growing to this moment of
Yeah.
being able to work together like this, right?
Yeah.
And so the work that you have helped me do, I think last year or the year before, I had gotten to a place where this website that I had paid to have designed, beautiful, it was a beautiful design, no longer fit where I was as a company and as a brand. And it
Mhm.
started as, can you just help me with this page? And slowly but surely, you got in there and started to help me reimagine what I already had with the brand elements that I had, with the guidelines and the palettes and things that I had. It looked totally different and new to me. And so, one of the things that I value the most about not only just your heart in the work, but the way that you help business owners like myself who may not always be in a season where you can afford the $20,000 website or the big thing. It's like, what can we do now with what you have now? How can we make the most of what you have now? And so we did that. That happened well. It got us to this point, and now it's this
Boss
constant
lady.
evolution of like, oh, it has to change again. And being able to tap you and say, Derek, can you please help me with this? And you're like, girl, I'm already in here. I'm already in here. I'm already working on it. And I'm
Hey, Alice tapped out for a minute. Her phone might have died or timed out, but she will be back super, super quick. But yes, my working relationship with Alice, I didn't even realize it was 13 years ago. Like, wow, right? But it's been a pleasure working with a person like her too, because she values my services, right? Alice is one of those people where she's not afraid to be like, hey, don't start until I pay you. And it makes me want to just work even more harder for people like her and in her business. And working with her over the years, just being able to evolve her brand page by page has been such a pleasure, because this is why I'm able to learn and understand who she is, and this is why I'm able to create her something within 24 hours, right? The more that I get to understand and know the people who I am called to serve and to connect with and to give on that level of business, I'm able to work faster, which allows them to be more efficient in their business, which allows them to get back to their mission and their purpose. So my advice for people who want to collaborate with people like me and Alice, um, level up your leadership, right? Level up your integrity. One of the things about Alice that I love is she's extremely transparent and honest about where she is. Even if I suggest something strategy wise, and if it doesn't resonate, she speaks up, right? She just doesn't accept everything that I say. Or everything that I create. So I love people that I can like move back and forth with and create with, because it also challenges me, right? No one wants to be a know-it-all. No one wants to create and design to be a know-it-all. So being able to, work with her and going back and forth with the feedback and the strategy, I think really, really does increase, enhance my productivity as a creator as well.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You back. Hey, you back.
I'm back. I'm back.
I was
Okay.
singing your praises for a good 45 seconds.
Oh, because I was like, what? It still said I was in here, but I didn't know what was happening. Okay, so um with the foundation first package, I think that what I was going to say is that you are unique in the industry for a lot of reasons, but one of it is because you don't create a dependency on you with your
That's
clients.
good.
And I say that like when it comes to empowering us with templates, next steps, even if we're not ready for it. I know how to get into my website and make changes and make updates. I don't have to book you for another expensive package. Not that I wouldn't love to, but I can manage it if I need to. But then also when I need support in strategy, not just the design. I want people to think about you beyond just their designs. It
Yeah.
starts with messaging, strategy, positioning. There's clarity there. And so I don't want to scare people away, but I want people to come knowing that you can't be shallow on this side. She's going to force you to go a little deeper into who are you and how do you want to show up in this business.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love, because you know what, beyond business, I see what you're meant for in the kingdom, right? It's beyond just what we're doing on the surface level. We're truly impacting people to just become better humans, right?
Yeah.
We out here decreasing the poverty level. We out here decreasing crime in the streets. Like, it may not be
It's free
direct, but
subscribe.
that's what we're doing. We're giving
Yes.
people an opportunity to not jump off the 76th floor. Like, we out here saving lives. So it is important that you come and you be willing and vulnerable to just receive, because if it's in us, it's for us. And we want to help you, bring that out. that type of.
Yes. And do you all know the perfect place to bring that out? Women Made for More, because what has been created there and the way that there is an honest exchange, it's like everybody has come to the table and be like, this is what I do, this is what I have, how can I help?
Yeah.
If
Yep.
you are missing that in your business, because I know we don't always find that in our immediate friend
Yeah.
groups or in our
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
Women Made for More has been designed for kingdom leaders to collaborate, to find out about opportunities, to be able to share. Like she said, we barter a lot. Like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? You're not going to find that on anyone's website. This is
Yeah.
something where you
You're
have to
not.
be aligned and then someone, and you have to have, first of all, the right posture for it, but
Yeah.
it comes in relationship and it's not something that can be manufactured or packaged, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Absolutely.
So I think that WM, if you are in search of that and in search of a truly supportive community, that the programming, the events, the experiences, you'll get up and come to prayer early because we be on there till 6:30.
Early.
I want you to really consider it because it has truly been a blessing for me and it's growing. It's like it's changed, but it's growing and it's the perfect time to get in, but with the right intention.
I love that. And Alice was my first paid member, so I'm always showing up for Alice. I don't care what she asks me for. I'm doing it, okay? It's not a
Oh,
$1 million a month membership, but I don't
no,
care. I'm
it's
grateful,
not, but it
okay?
should be. It should be. That's why I'm like, y'all better get in here while you can,
Why
because
you can.
it's still a premium. It is premium. But because you value more so making it accessible and getting people in, that's where we are right now. But it's
Yeah,
going. It is going
yeah.
there.
We growing because
Uh
we about to hit some figures, y'all. And
yes.
we look, don't when y'all see us sipping from coconuts, just know God did
Yes.
it.
So
Just know
tell me, if I had never worked with you before,
Mhm.
how would I go about like reaching out and finding out how to get support? And then what does that support look like? Because I may be on like a little, this ain't really a real pack, but what
Yeah,
could it look like if I
yeah.
was starting this?
Yeah, so I do have a link called Ready to Work. It's a power move call with me, and it's really just a conversation that we're having. Like, what are you trying to do?
Hmm.
I'm known for making things make sense. So my goal
Yes.
is to say, okay, this is what you want to do. This is how I see it, and based on what I see, you get to decide what that route looks like for you. If you're an executive client, which are typically women over 45, I have Made for Momentum. This is where you're like, I want hands off support. I just want you to manage my brand. I don't care about all these questions. Learn who I am and do the work. That's for you. Made for More is for the person who just wants to learn, they want to collaborate, they want to glean. That is the place for you to come and get community. That's for you to do personal development, build yourself up as a leader, so that when you do run your business or you're ready to scale your business, you can do it with integrity and you can do power plays and power moves with people like me and Alice, right? You want to
Hmm.
be able to give and barter at the same value level. Then I have
Yes.
Made for Mastery, and Made for Mastery is where you're mastering your personal brand. So your messaging, your tone, your leadership skills, master your signature services. You really want to know what it is that you want to offer before you have something to offer. Like, it's not enough to put up a cute picture and be like, hey, I'm this person, and you don't have anything to offer. So Made for Master is for that person. It's a course that wants to learn that. And then the Method of More is for the person who really wants to access the possibilities with that's inside of them. Really get
Hmm.
clear about who you are and what you're called to do, so that you can move into mastery and then get
Hmm.
yourself set up for Made for Momentum. So it starts with this
Yes.
this power move call, and then based on that, we can move you in whatever track works well for your journey.
I love that. And it sounds like I hear between both of our service and our business models, we are bringing people in at the foundation. We are still trying to build people up from the foundation up. And I think that you all, the women in WM are powerhouses. You will be sitting among your peers, will be women who are doing the work. And I'm not just
Yeah,
talking about just a service and making money. These women are invested in their relationship with Jesus. They are committed to serving in their communities and their families. That makes a total difference.
yeah, yep,
In it just is different. I don't know how to explain it, but I really do think that if you're struggling and you feel like I'm kind of stuck at this level, and I want to get to the next point of mastering and being able to elevate and being able to sing like that in the marketplace, WM is a beautiful place to start.
I agree. I agree. We're cool. We beautiful. We love Jesus. We love to
Yes.
collaborate and put our eyes on things. So yeah, this is a safe space. We're not the people with all the crazy, amounts of followers because we're truly
No.
building foundation. We're truly building lasting legacies for ourselves. So if you want
Mhm.
to get rich quick scheme, we probably not the people for
I ain't
you.
got it. I don't
I
have
don't have
it.
it for you, but we are building. We are not broke. We are
Yeah.
believing and we are
Yes.
blessed. So thank
Absolutely.
you so much, Alice, for joining me for this extra brief because we got a 15-minute extra on there. So y'all
Extra,
are in for
extra
a treat.
breathe.
Extra
That's so
brief.
good. This is a beautiful series, and you have inspired me. I want to say thank you for inviting me, for seeing me, and then
Yes.
also for inspiring me because I'm like, why am I not briefing with my clients after we do all this
Please
work?
do it. Let's come up with your
Yes.
everybody do a series. Everybody.
Everybody do it.
Do
Everybody
a
do it
series.
because we need to know what you are doing behind the scenes, Dara. You are such a low key, just doing the work head down person. So I love that you have created this space to highlight yourself and others in true Dara fashion. So
That's all
thank you
y'all
so
get.
much.
I love it. Thank you again, Alice. You can stay on. Thank you all,
Okay.
everybody, for attending this brief, and we'll see you next Wednesday.